Hello, everybody. This is Keith. Welcome to Crypto Coin Mindset. Glad you're here. Happy Monday, start of a new week. Very busy weekend. Part of what we're going to be discussing today. So make sure you jump in the comments, put some comments, questions, whatever. As always, I am here to help you get your mindset on crypto. You can see what kind of day it's been. I'm a few minutes late getting in here for this live stream. I've kind of been a little behind all weekend, it seems. But I had to go get me some more coffee. So sorry, a couple minutes late getting in here. So bear with me. Appreciate you being here. I'm going to try and help, or at least open up a discussion. I'm hoping to some possibilities of what you can do, or at least to think about with regard to this conflict that is now started in the Middle East. And I don't think I have to tell everybody what's going on. But just the short skinny of it, Hamas, which is a terrorist organization, been around since I've been around, and I'm pretty damn old. I'm probably before me, honestly. Matter of fact, I remember constant news reports about them back in the 70s and 80s, with the conflicts that were going on in the Middle East then. It's just I don't even know. Anyway, we'll talk a little bit about that. But Hamas, which was supported and funded by Iran, I'm sorry. I'm trying to pick my words wisely before YouTube this video. And with that point in mind, if for whatever reason this channel ever gets banned or whatever, you can head on over to Odyssey and find me there. I will definitely be there. I'm trying to set something up on Rumble. Rumble's a bit of a pain in the ass, truth be told. But if you want to find out what all of our official social media channels are, head on over to Cointree, COINTR.ee/CCM for Crypto Coin Mindset, and you will see all of our official social media channels there. And if you're so inclined, you'll be able to leave me a tip. I appreciate it. Help me to continue what I'm doing with this channel. I appreciate the opportunity to do that for you. Also, while I'm thinking about it, before we kind of get into what we're going to be talking about today, if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, please do so. Let's see. Well, wrong way. That way. Gotta love it live, baby. Anyway, link is in the description below. Go ahead and sign up for the newsletter. I'm actually putting out some great information, some potential training if you're interested in trading bots with regard to crypto to make a passive income. Head on over to that newsletter, sign up. There's information going out for that. There's a limited time that training is going to be open. I can't put out too much information about it because the guy that does the training had me sign an NDA in order to even get the training. So go ahead, check that out. Sign up for the newsletter. All right. That's now all out of the way. I should probably do that. There we go. All right. So let's, now that we know what's going on, the idea is, okay, is it possible that this is the Black Swan event that basically brings the entire world into the shitter and World War III-esque type scenario? I don't know. But I've been around long enough to know that weak presidents and weak men create shit-ass times. And I never thought I'd say this after growing up with Jimmy Carter, who was one of the weakest US presidents in modern history, where Iran took hostages for over 400 days and would not return these hostages. Of course, until the Reagan administration took office, and then like the next day, poof, all of a sudden they were released. Why? Because they knew Reagan was going to go, yeah, okay, no problem. We're going to just kick your freaking ass from here to tomorrow. Sadly, and it is sad, there is actually a shittier, weaker president than Jimmy Carter. The FJB administration. Screw you. He is weak and inept. Well, okay. Let's be honest. He ain't the one running this country. And if you think he is, please don't vote, because you don't have a flicking clue what the hell's going on. Anyway, because of this weak-ass administration and the poor fiscal policies of the United States over the past several decades, we are sitting here right now with a destabilized world. Just, I'm sorry. You know, whether you are all about the US or you are just, US sucks, whatever. If you think the US sucks, you should be getting the fuck out. But then again, you got 10,000 people coming across the border every freaking day, because why not? Come on. And we're going to give you benefits. Come on. We're going to pay you to be here and destroy our country. Hashtag FJB. Anyway. So what can you do? I don't want to really make this live stream as much as I could a major rant against the government or whatever, because that'll definitely, let's put it this way. My channel's already getting shadow banned. I've talked about it in other live streams where, I've used VPNs, different, so I'm putting myself in different locations, security browsers. So, it's as secure as it can get, Googling up or going to YouTube and searching my channel, even by name. Nothing. Which is why, if you're new here, or not even, and maybe you just like, hearing me rant and rave, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tick that bell icon, and click the all. I really appreciate it. Trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. And don't forget to like this live stream. Please. Appreciate it. Help to show Google that, even though they're kind of giving me the shadow ban, screw them. Excuse me. Change of season. The allergies are getting me. All right. So what can we do? What can we do? Well, I don't know. I'll tell you what I'm doing. Because again, as always, not financial advice. Not a financial advisor. Some old guy on the interwebs who's been around for a while, who's seen a thing or two, and I use critical thinking skills to try and peer through the bullshit that they're throwing at us on the daily basis and get to the information that you'll never find on mainstream media, you'll never find anywhere unless you search it out. So again, not financial advice. So, but for me, a couple of things. I've always been, and again, not trying to talk religion, whatever, but it's always been about God. I was raised to believe in God and in Jesus, and he's done a lot of good in my life. He really has. So to me, that is one of the first places to like bring it all together, to get right in here, and to be able to be right with the universe. I mean, again, I get it. Some people may not believe in God or Jesus or whatever, and I'm not here to tell you what to believe. So please don't put it in the comments, please. But whatever you believe, it's a good idea to be like right with all that, knowing that you have the ability to be right with the universe as a whole. Now, here's the thing, you know, I believe that this is my mission, talking to people about cryptocurrency and trying to get them to understand that the current fiat system that we're in is, I don't know, frankly, the work of the devil, if you ask me, because it creates power for a select few. And the masses, the me's, the you's, guess what? We're the little guy that gets trampled in the end. And don't be thinking for 1 second that if a war does break out, like I'm talking an extended conflict of some kind, that the money printers aren't coming on because, hello, you got to fund the war, right? And that the government isn't going to try to choke out more than they do because they'll use emergency powers because of war to stop you from being able to get out of their system, because they need you to milk you to stay in the system and keep them, their own pockets, full. And of course, fund whatever it is they're going to fund. So maybe it's a good idea to consider being outside of that system as much as possible, as soon as possible. And we're going to get into that a little bit more. So again, for me, I feel like at this point in my life, this is where I need to be. This is the direction I need to be going in. And I need to be sharing this information with as many people as possible. It's just what I feel is right. Next thing you need to consider is family. I mean, I get it. There's some people that don't have extended family that might be listening to this. But I'm going to guess that's not the majority of people. I'm going to guess that the majority of people might even have children, grandchildren. And I'll tell you what, as you can probably tell, I didn't sleep well last night, because I was like, how do I put this information out there? And what direction do I take to try and prepare as much as possible beyond what I've already done to be ready for what potential conflicts may be coming, to give my children and grandchildren the ability to be able to be prepared for what else might be coming. Because one thing is for certain, and I know I'm not the only one saying it, but the world that we had prior to all this is gone. The country we knew, sadly, is gone. And I don't think it's coming back. So my idea is we need to be prepared. So you got to get right with God and the universe. Again, whatever God, however you believe, worship, etc. And family. At the end of the day, good, bad, or ugly, that's your support system. That's your immediate support system. So, again, I'm not trying to make this. I know I'm not my normal jovial self here. Usually I got a lot of energy. I'm pretty positive, and talking like this kills me. I'm not going to lie. It really does. But how do you get positive talking about the fact that the world's going down the shithole? Just is. And the abilities to be able to fix it are just like, shh. I don't know. Anyway, to me, that's where you start. Because if you've got all that right, the God, your head, your heart, your family, your support system in place, it makes a lot of this other stuff, and that's kind of what it is, stuff, at varying degrees of necessity, easier to accomplish. All right, let's jump into some of that. Again, if you're out there watching, I can see there's a few of you out there watching. Jump into the comments, say, hey, put a question in there, comment, whatever you want. Feel free. I really appreciate you doing that. I am so sorry. Dang allergies. I should have took an allergy pill. I forgot to do that. Running behind the 8 ball today. All right. Anyway, appreciate you being here. Make sure you jump into the comments. So now that we've got through, and in theory, you've got it, you're right with God, the universe, you're good, you got your family together, you know the direction you're heading in to keep the family safe and move forward through whatever comes in any of these conflicts. Cheers. I know, speaking of cheers, that's usually Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Crypto on the Rocks. Make sure you're here for that this Friday. Anyway, what are some of the preparation things you can do? Well, let's think. What are some of the biggest necessities? So like food, water, power. You got to eat. Your family has to eat. If you got children, you got to feed them, right? There are a lot of companies out there, none of which I have links to in the description below. You have to do some research for it. But that give you these kind of like MRE meals that are shipped straight to your house. They do it over, I'm guessing, like a monthly, quarterly basis, whatever it is. And they guarantee, even through crises and stuff, that you're gonna get that food. And okay, that's great. I think that's a good option if you're able to afford that option. But consider the fact that you could also grow your own food. Now, I get it. Some people that are here, matter of fact, I know I have people that are listening to this channel who own their own farms. And you want to know what? Good for you. Don't ever get rid of that farm. Raise the chickens, raise the cows, raise the goats, whatever it is you need to raise, and be able to go ahead and plant your own food. Because you want to know what? That is a necessity. It's just a necessity. As a matter of fact, if any of you are out there, feel free, jump in the comments. Tell me, give me your 2 cents about that. But food, okay? Food, water. There are a lot of different options with water. And, for those of you out there who might be preppers, you understand different portable water filtration systems. You've seen the straws. Life Straw, I think, is one of them. And if you're interested in that, I do have another website that sells stuff like that. I'll try to remember to put that in the description, some links in the description below later on, so you can go ahead and check that stuff out. Honestly, it's kind of been flying off the shelves, so hopefully there's stuff in stock. But having different filtration options, water collection options are key. So food, water, power. Now, many people have generators, right? I mean, power goes out in different areas of the country, you get a big storm, whatever the case may be. But guess what? Most of those run on gasoline. And we're going to get to gas in a second. But yes, having that and having gasoline backup, set aside in order to be able to run the generator, winner, chicken dinner. But you may want to consider, and they exist out there, and there are, I believe, are conversion kits for a lot of these generators to have solar power. And, while, I'm all about green energy, just not at the expense of people's lives, which is what the current administration is all about doing, screw us kind of thing. And again, FJB. But on a smaller scale, the ability to have like a solar power generator, I'm sorry, winner, chicken dinner to me. Why not? So these are the things, if you have not already put these things in place, time to consider doing it. Maybe stocking up on seeds, getting the water filtration in place, making sure you got backup gasoline if you've got a gas generator, and looking into a solar powered option for other things. Again, not financial advice, not any kind of advice. I'm just an old guy on the interwebs here who has had some life experience and some, I'd like to think, decent common sense to be like, these are things you should be thinking about. Now, I mentioned that gasoline, right? To have the gasoline backup for the generators. And I would do that sooner rather than later. And the first thing I know, how cynical am I? The first thing I did when I heard, like, left the house after hearing about this conflict going on in the Middle East, was topped the gas tank off on my car before gas prices rose. And frankly, glad I did, because here we go. Let me share the screen with you. All right, coming right off Bloomberg for you. So for you people who are, a bunch of libtards who don't, freaking, don't even get me going. Anyway, that support the FJB administration. Here you go. From one of your leaders here. The Israel-Hamas conflict basically surges crude oil prices. Well, like, duh. Like, duh. Why would you think it would not? All right, listen. The FJB administration shut down all of the domestic oil production first few days in office. Excuse me. So sorry. They made us again. We were energy independent. They made us again dependent on foreign oil. You've seen FJB going to the Middle East, basically begging these oil producing nations to be like, oh, be kind to the US. Again, weak ass president creating hard times. Makes Jimmy Carter look like a war hero, and Jimmy Carter was an ass. Anyway, so of course there's a conflict going in the Middle East. The biggest oil producing nations, OPEC oil producing nations, are in the Middle East. The likelihood of the conflict staying within borders is low. Let's be honest. What happens with war? It spills over. War is messy. So to say that gas prices, oil prices, are not going to increase is, I don't know. Personally, I think it's crazy. So you can already see here that 5% in like 24 hours. Bam. So my next suggestion to you, I guess, is take care of the gasoline stuff. If that's what's powering your generator, make sure you got all your backup stuff ready. It's in place before the prices go any higher. Fill up your gas tank. If you've got another way to store gasoline, I mean, I know most of us don't. I don't. Do it. It'll be to your benefit. And if you think, well, that's okay, we got, we got strategic reserves. Yeah, not so much. Thanks to the tard that's sitting in office right now, he used all of our strategic reserves. Okay, not all. Let's try and keep this as accurate as possible. Okay, I think we have like about 2 weeks worth of strategic reserves left. He used our strategic reserves in order to stabilize gas prices throughout the country. Well, you did that a little too early, you dumbass, because, it ain't going to help you for the election. Although, unless your plan was to be at war during the election, because wartime presidents get reelected. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Sorry. Getting on that tangent. Okay. So where are we? Let's bring this all together. Okay. God, family, bring yourself right. Food, water, power. Be able to survive at least for a little while, right? Because the government ain't coming to save you. Be sure of that. Gasoline. Best you can to have extra on hand. Keep your car filled up at the lowest price possible, etc. Because these prices are probably going to jump through the roof once this conflict expands. All right. Then what? Well, it's probably a good idea. Well, it's probably always a good idea to have some cash on hand. Now, I know I can hear it already. I can hear the comments before they even come in. So feel free to put them in there because I would love to have some engagement in the live chat. So matter of fact, again, if you are new here, whoops, sorry about that. I got wrong buttons. And make sure you subscribe, tick that bell icon, click the all. That way you get notified every time I go live or put out a great video. And don't forget to like this live stream. I appreciate it. Smash the like, smash it up. All right. So, cash. Should I have some cash on hand? Probably a good idea to have at least a month to 3 months worth of what you need to survive in cash. Now, again, a lot of people are going to say, well, I got it in the bank. Okay. If you've learned nothing else from this channel, learn this. The banking system is not safe. It's barely functional at this point. They operate on, they don't even have to hold any money to give you your money. Down to zero when COVID happened. Okay? Fractional reserve banking. They went from needing 10% down to 0%. And that's why we've seen 5 banking collapses already in 2023. And there's another UK bank on the teetering on the edge. They've already put out news articles prepping the world that this bank is going to go under. They're not alone. They are not alone. Okay? So having your money in the bank, and I'm not saying take all your money out of the bank, whatever you want to do. This, again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, some old bastard, okay? But listen, does it not make sense that they can close the bank anytime they want? They've already done it. Talk to anybody in the 5 banks that closed this year. Doors are closed. No money for you. It's happened in other countries. India. Boom. Greece. Boom. Don't think for 1 second. I know I'm mostly US people watching my live streams and videos. Don't think for 1 second that can't happen here. Of course it can. Of course it can. And if it, again, my opinion, I think it's going to eventually. When's that eventuality? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But the fact of the matter is, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So having cash outside of the bank, good idea. How much? That's up to you. That's probably a good idea. Now, what else? Because remember what we talked about a few minutes ago. How do they combat these wars? They got to print money, right? When they're printing the money, what happens? That puts more, like in this case, US dollars into circulation, which automatically devalues the US dollars you have in your pocket. Devaluation of the US dollar is happening worldwide. Even though the US dollar is still the world reserve currency, although probably not too much longer, other countries, and we've talked about this on live streams and videos, other countries across the globe are de-dollarizing, which means all of those dollars they no longer want to trade in, where are they coming? They're coming back to the US. All that's going to do is even further hike inflation. That's first off. I don't give a shit what the Fed's saying. And two, it's going to create a devalued dollar. Well, that's basically what inflation is. It's not a rise in the prices. It's a fucking devaluation of the currency that you're using. Okay. So how do you deal with that? How do you prepare for that? Well, you know, my answer is to be outside the system. I keep saying it all the time. So what are some of your options? I'm going to say, let's start with crypto. Now, for those of you, matter of fact, for those of you, don't forget Friday night, 7 p.m., Crypto on the Rocks. You come on, we talk crypto, etc. This weekend, this past Friday, we said that we were going to start DCAing into a list of cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin was going to be a standard every week. We were going to put $15 into crypto. We're going to do a total of $25 altogether, and then $10 into one of 5 different cryptos that you vote for. And this week, you voted for LCX. So that's watch for that. This coming Friday, I'll show you where we stand with all of that. Okay. But the point is, you can get, for example, all of those and a lot of different cryptocurrencies on centralized exchanges. And in the description below, if you're looking for an exchange, you haven't set up an account, links to Coinbase, links to Gemini. As far as centralized US exchanges, those are probably the best. Eventually, realize that as the government keeps printing this money, if we end up in a conflict, what's going to happen? They're going to eventually try to gain more wealth in order to continue whatever it is, well, pad their own pockets primarily, but then fight the war, etc. So how are they going to do that? Well, in the past, they did it by confiscating gold. We're going to talk about gold because I think you should have some. Again, my opinion, not financial advice, old guy, interwebs, okay? But right now, crypto. They're also going to continue with Choke Point 2.0. And for those who don't know what that is, it's basically started under the Obama administration. Anyway. And they started basically choking out the ways that businesses that they didn't agree with could get financing. So if you owned a gun shop, no banking stuff for you because we don't agree with guns. Well, of course you don't. An unarmed populace is an easy to control populace. Take from that what you will. Anyway, crypto is also a sector that they're trying to choke out. Why? Because you're taking your fiat money, your US dollar in this case, and you're taking it out of their system, putting it in a separate system that they have no control over. Bitcoin is decentralized. So I'm going to use Bitcoin as the primary example here, okay? Bitcoin is decentralized. They don't control it. It's set in code. It has a finite supply. And the supply is so small that like every millionaire in the world couldn't even own one. Just saying. And we're going to look at the prices of the market prices in a minute. But as the conflict grows or conflicts grow around the world, don't think for 1 second that they're not going to tell your bank there'll be no more crypto. Your freaking banks, if you're in Chase Bank, you can't use it. You can't use your freaking bank account anyway. But yet they're building crypto desks behind the scenes to take care of their wealthy clients. And I'm sure investing for themselves. They'll never admit that, at least not openly yet. But it's going on. It's going on. And if you think it's not, wow. Wow. You need to be watching everything we put out. Okay. Anyway, so what's going to happen? Okay. So they'll choke out the banks first. Then what's going to happen? They're going to try and choke out the centralized exchanges. So the Coinbases, the Geminis, the Binance US, Kraken, all of which are great for US residents. Okay. Some are just easier than others. It's what it is. When they do that, if you have money on an exchange, what's going to happen? It's going to be gone. It's going to be locked up. You ain't going to have nothing, because end of day, not your keys, not your coins. So as we move along in getting ourselves in a position to potentially prepare for whatever's coming, you got cash on hand. If you're smart, you don't have a crap ton of it in the bank. You're going to be outside of the system. Again, we're talking crypto right now. We'll talk other things in a minute, but crypto. So if they're going to choke out the centralized exchange, or potentially choke out your access to getting your fiat on and your crypto out of centralized exchanges, there are two things you need to consider. One, as you put, if you're using like Coinbase or Gemini to start to do some dollar cost averaging into cryptocurrency, as soon as it's possible, you need to get that money off of the exchange and into a self-custody wallet. Now, I'll tell you right now, I've been saying it, the easiest self-custody wallet, we're trying to get it on the screen here. There we go, is Tangem. Link for Tangem wallet in the description below. As a matter of fact, if you watched my last video, they just came out with a new wallet. And that new wallet allows you to have the option to control your seed phrase. These wallets that you'll see in the unboxing video I did, look at these things, like a credit card. Perfect, right? I think they're so easy because you can have it set up and backed up in less than 5 minutes. And the backup is as simple as, okay, here's my wallet. Here's my backup. Go put that in a safe place. Don't have to worry about a seed phrase. I think that is one of the best parts about Tangem Wallet, is not having to deal with the seed phrase. But I get why people in the cryptocurrency space feel maybe they have a additional security with their cryptocurrency wallet by being able to control their seed phrase. So whatever works. Either way, get into that description below, click the link. It'll take you to the official Tangem Wallet site, and it will give you a 10% discount on whatever one you order. I'm on the list, just like you, if you go and sign up for the new wallet, to get that wallet in so I can do an unboxing and setup of that wallet for you so you can see that. However, the other wallets, the 2 and 3 card set, are in stock. So no seed phrase, whatever, boom, in stock. And I'm going to suggest to you the 3 card, because that way you've got your wallet plus 2 backups. Okay. So where are we at? If you're going to go and do crypto and you're using a centralized exchange, as soon as it's possible, get it off the exchange. And as far as what to invest in, listen, again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. You need to do some of your own research. I've put a few different articles and videos out about that. You can use that as a starting point to do your own research and decide for yourself what is best to invest in. Matter of fact, let's take the moment right now to go and take a look at the current crypto market and what's going on here. Let's refresh this page. Here we go. Yes, I'm attacking CoinGecko. All right, here we go. So as you can see, Market's dropping. Why? Because people are taking money out of a speculative market because of what's going on, the conflict going on, holding in cash instead of these speculative assets. If you ask me, that just makes this a greater buying opportunity. Again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but they can sell to me. I'm okay with that. So you know what? Let me make this a little bit bigger. We'll just make it full screen so you can actually see that. So you've, again, just really quickly, you got Bitcoin at 27.5, which is still pretty strong, all things being equal. Ethereum just under 1,600. And let's see, what a, Cardano favorite here. Cardano, 25 cents. Wow. That's all I got. Wow. You know what I mean? Buying opportunities across the board. Chainlink down to 739. What else we got here? Avalanche under $10 now. Stellar 10.5 cents. I mean, wow. Interestingly, Monero, though it's come down a little bit, less than 1%, still up overall. Wonder why. Can't confiscate what they can't hack, right? Just saying, putting it out there, throwing it out there. All right. Anyway, so that's what's going on in the current markets. But now, if they decide that they're going to try and choke out things like Coinbase and Gemini, centralized exchanges, and quite frankly, if you're watching from outside the country, I know sometimes we get a few people tuning in from the UK. Lord knows regulation going on in the UK right now. I'm not going to go down that road. That's not why we're here today. But it's a good idea to be able to access DeFi exchanges, decentralized finance exchanges. Now, some of these DeFi exchanges block IP addresses from certain countries. That's how they try to, stay off the SEC's radar and such. So the ability to be able to access some of these DeFi exchanges would be through a VPN. Now, personally, I think no matter what you're doing online, you need a VPN. VPN, virtual private network. It's basically, think of it like a tunnel that goes from your computer to wherever you're going online. And the only person that can drive in that tunnel is you. So it's your information that's in there. It's encrypted. It is kind of like logging into your bank when they secure that transaction. The same thing, okay? Use a VPN. Now, again, I had a whole video on VPNs, but the long and short of it is you get what you pay for with a VPN. I use and suggest TorGuard VPN. And you know what? Let me move that so you can see. Basically, they do a 7-day free trial, TorGuard. There's a link in the description below. All my devices, all of them, doesn't matter, are on TorGuard VPN. We're talking laptops, we're talking phones, you name it, on TorGuard VPN. So if you're interested in that, use the link in the description below. At checkout, make sure you use code CCM for CryptoCoinMindSet, and you will get 50% off whatever package you order for life. For as long as you have that account with TorGuard, you will get 50% off. How can you beat that? You can't. You can't. And here's the thing. A lot of times people complain with VPN services that speed is affected, like your uploads, your downloads, that kind of thing. And I got to tell you, I experienced none of that with TorGuard, which is part of why I like it. And TorGuard does not keep your browsing information. Some of these VPN servers, especially the free ones, will keep your browsing information. So if you want to be private in the transactions you're doing, and in crypto, you want to be as private as possible. So you should be using Brave browser, first off, link in the description below for that. And you should be using a VPN service. I suggest TorGuard, again, link in the description below, 50% off if you use it. Those VPNs will allow you even in, if you're living in the US, to access a DeFi exchange if you need to do so, if it gets really bad. Again, not financial advice, completely up to you what you do. I'm just telling you that the option exists. And as far as using a VPN, I'm sorry, you should be using it. And so let's bring the crypto thing together. DCAing, so dollar cost averaging into crypto. Again, we're all struggling, living paycheck to paycheck kind of thing. And I know it's difficult to be investing on a consistent basis, but it's a good idea to start investing on a consistent basis, because when this system collapses, you need something else. You need something else. So make sure you're self-custodying your own cryptocurrency, and make sure you're using a VPN. All right. So what other options are there? Because I'm already 45 minutes in here, and I don't want to keep you here much longer. I appreciate those who have been here. Matter of fact, don't forget, smash that like for me. Smash that like button. Gold. Gold has been money like forever, right? Just is. And the price of gold, since all this has kind of started, and why wouldn't it, right? It's a hard asset. Gold, silver, hard assets. If you're looking to get into gold, the easiest way I've found to get into gold is to dollar cost average into gold. For $50 a month, you can dollar cost average into gold. Oops, sorry. Once you reach the correct dollar amount because there are different ounces, different weights of gold you can purchase. For the one you've purchased, it gets shipped directly to your door. I'm going to suggest to you, once you have it, you secure it somewhere, because, again, the U.S. government has tried to confiscate gold in the past. Don't be thinking for 1 minute, if this conflict expands, that they ain't going to try and do it again. So again, if you're looking to dollar cost average into gold, link is in the description below. Acre Gold, $50 a month. Have it shipped directly to you. It doesn't get much easier than that. So let's bring this all together. If you've got your head right, you got your family ready, you started preparing like your food, your water, power needs, okay, gasoline, power needs, having some cash on hand, and then having an alternative to the cash. So cryptocurrency, I suggest. That's what I'm doing. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I got to keep saying it because Lord knows. And then a little bit of gold. What do you think? If you're watching this live stream after the fact, tell me in the comments below. I want to hear it. All right, that's it. I think we've got enough bad news for today. It wasn't my typical, energy powered live stream, happy, moving the right direction kind of, thing. But I think it was much needed. So again, appreciate you being here. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new. Click that bell icon, click the all so you get notified every time that we go live or put on a video or short. And I appreciate you being here. Don't forget, it's the Friday, lives, Monday, Wednesday, 10 a.m. Wednesday, we'll be here again, 10 a.m. And if you are around on Friday night, Crypto on the Rocks, 7 p.m. Eastern, next live. And that's so much more casual. You come on, you basically control the conversation. Yeah, if you're here for that, you're going to get to vote on the next crypto that we're going to DCA into. Okay. So make sure you are here for that. That's going to do it. Again, appreciate you being here. I hope you have a great day. I hope your week goes well, and start thinking about what you're going to do with regard to preparing yourself and your family for what could potentially be coming down the line. All right. Take care. We'll see you Wednesday.